It's an epidemic in Ontario.
Ms. Stiles is seeking the unanimous consent of the House to declare intimate partner violence an epidemic in Ontario. Agreed? Agreed. Heard a no. I understand there's a second request.
Yes, thank you, Speaker. I seek unanimous consent for the House to observe a moment of silence in memory of the lives lost to intimate partner violence in Ontario.
Ms. Stiles is seeking the unanimous consent of the House to observe a moment of silence in memory of the lives lost to intimate partner violence in Ontario. Agreed? Agreed. Agreed. I'll ask members to please rise. Members may take their seats. It is now time for oral questions. I recognize the Leader of His Majesty's Loyal Opposition.
Speaker, intimate partner violence is growing exponentially in the province of Ontario. Just this year, there were at least 42 reported cases of intimate partner and gender-based violence, specifically deaths right here in Ontario. A teenage girl, a whole family in Harrow, a 62-year-old woman in London. These are not one-offs. This is an epidemic. 95 municipalities all across this province and 6 other provinces have declared intimate partner violence an epidemic. Why won't the Premier declare intimate partner violence an epidemic?
Members will please take their seat. To reply, the Minister of Children, Community and Social Services.
Thanks very much, Speaker, and I thank the honourable colleague for the question. Mr. Speaker, violence against women and girls is a horrific crime, and our government has zero tolerance for it, Mr. Speaker, which is why we have been very clear, which is why we supported the bill that was put forward by the opposition, so that we can continue to review, hear from experts, some of our partners who are here right now, who are doing wonderful work to support women and girls and families across the province. And we have made a commitment, Mr. Speaker, to make sure they have the supports and resources to continue to provide those supports to families, Mr. Speaker. We are investing $1.4 billion annually to make sure that those supports and services are available to families across the province. We partnered with the federal government on the National Action Plan to end gender-based violence. Mr. Speaker, we will work with any partner, any level of government to stop violence against women in our province once and for all, Mr. Speaker.
Order. The supplementary question.
Speaker, 34 women were killed just this year between January and June. That's an average of 5 women killed every month. What survivors and advocates want is to hear from this Premier a declaration that this is an epidemic, because that would mean more resources, That would mean the government treating this crisis with the urgency that it deserves. So I want to ask this Premier right now to stand here and tell me how many more people have to die before this government declares intimate partner violence an epidemic.
Please take your seat. The Associate Minister of Women's Social and Economic Opportunity. Order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, intimate partner violence is horrific. It is. We do all know that it is horrific, and every time a woman her life is taken short because of an abuser, we all feel it. And Mr. Speaker, that's why I'm going to say this number, 1-866-863-05.
Order.
You see, Mr. Speaker, what the members of the NDP don't understand is that isolation.
Opposition, please come to order.
That abusive people use to keep women in abusive relationship. And as the members opposite keep making really damaging and scary statements that the government is doing nothing, they are further contributing to the isolation that many women are staying in. Yes. And we have to stop that.
Hear, hear.
We are investing billions of dollars to keep women safe. We need women to know that they do not need to suffer in silence.
Hear, hear.
There's a number they can call, the Assaulted Women's Helpline, to get support from the many organizations that are there working hard. 1-866-863-0511.
The final supplementary.
No, Speaker, no. Sorry, here's the thing. Try this number out for size. 800 women. 800 women went to Ottawa's Interval House and had to be turned away because they did not have space. So you can call the 1-866 number, and I hope women do. But I want to tell you something. I want to tell you something right now. More women than ever before are stuck at home, unable to leave their abusers because there is no room for them in the shelters. More women are forced to stay living with their abusers because rent is skyrocketing. They cannot leave because of the cost of living. We are living in a crisis. It is an epidemic. Will the Premier do the right thing once and for all? No more studies, no more studies, no more committees. Declare it an epidemic and do the right thing today.
Members will please take their seats. Order. Order. Stop the clock. Okay. This is a very sensitive and important issue that the House is discussing at the moment. I would ask members to listen to each other's response or question as the case may be. Start the clock. To reply, Minister of Children, Community and Social Services.
Speaker, once again, I want to reiterate, no woman or girl in this province should ever be subjected to violence, Mr. Speaker. We have passed legislations and have made investment and have made it very clear. We will work with any level of government, any partner that will help us to prevent and end violence against women in our province, Mr. Speaker. That's why Minister Williams and I joined the federal government. We signed on to the National Action Plan to end violence against women in the province, Mr. Speaker. That partnership came with an additional $162 million to help our wonderful partners who are doing great work in every community in this province to prevent violence from happening in the first place. Support survivors, Mr. Speaker. That support is augmenting the $1.4 billion that we're investing in the supports and services in the province, Mr. Speaker.
Response?
No woman or girl in this province should be left behind. We will work with any level of government, including my colleagues in opposition. This is not a political issue, Mr. Speaker. We all need to.
Thank you. Thank you. The next question, once again, the Leader of the Opposition.
Speaker, it seems like in this province, the only people who get what they're looking for are people who pony up the cash.